Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com, setting the record straight about climate. On July 25th, Southern England had a very hot day, and climate experts declared it to be the new normal. The Independent, Thursday, July 25th, 2019. Heat wave, record temperatures will be new normal in future. Climate experts warn as UK experiences second hottest day ever. That sounds really bad. Those poor people in the UK are going to be burning up soon. So let's look at the actual data. These are the Central England temperatures from the Climatic Research Unit at the University of East Anglia. It's the longest running temperature data set in the world. The graph shows in red the average daily maximum temperature in England during the summer of 1976. The blue line shows the equivalent temperatures for this summer. The graph runs from June 1st on the left to the end of August on the right. As you can see, there was a short heat wave and a very hot day this year on July 25th. It was 1 degree warmer than the hottest day in 1976. But the heat wave of 1976 was much longer, and the average temperature during the summer of 1976 was 5 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than this summer. And in fact, other than 3 short heat waves this summer, one at the end of June, one at the end of July, and one at the end of August, England wasn't hot at all this summer. Unlike the summer of 1976 when they had several protracted heat waves. Here's an article from the summer of 1976. Rain fails to end Europe's drought. Europe's 3-week heat wave came off the boil in many areas, but the topsy-turvy weather conditions appeared certain to have a lasting impact on agriculture and consumer prices. Farmers all over the continent have suffered from Europe's worst spell of dry weather in 250 years. The weather has also had effects on European behavior. In the northern Rhine-Westphalia district of West Germany, police recorded an 11% increase in road traffic accidents during the heat wave. The fatality rate increased 40%. The summer of 1976 was probably the hottest and driest summer on record in England. So let's look at how the press reported on that. This is the November 1976 issue of National Geographic. At that time, the press was pimping global cooling rather than global warming. Just what's going on with the climate, what changes are taking place around us. From 1880 to about 1940, the world, particularly the northern hemisphere, went through a period of significant warming. I heard from tall, quiet-spoken Dr. J. Murray Mitchell, Jr. of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. He's one of the nation's most respected climatologists. He went on, but since about 1940 there has been a distinct drop in average global temperature. It's fallen about half a degree Fahrenheit, even more in the high latitudes of the northern hemisphere. England's annual growing season shrank by 9 or 10 days between 1950 and 1966, Hubert Lamb has noted. In the northern tier of the U.S. Midwest, summer frosts again occasionally damage crops. Sea ice has returned to Iceland's coast after more than 40 years of virtual absence. During the last 20 to 30 years, world temperature has fallen, irregularly at first, but more sharply over the last decade. U.S. National Science Board, 1974. Glaciers in Alaska and Scandinavia have slowed their recession. Some in Switzerland have begun advancing again. So after England's record hot summer of 1976, press and the climatologists were pushing global cooling. And after their relatively cool summer this year, which was 5 degrees cooler than 1976, they're pimping global warming. What kind of junk science and irrational thinking could have led anyone to believe that this one hot day on July 25th was the new normal? Perhaps the Independent just made the story up. The press does that all the time. Maybe there weren't any actual climate experts which told them that, but one thing for sure, there hasn't been any outcry from the climate science community. Why not? These kind of junk climate science articles appear in the press nearly every single day. Yet we never hear any outcry from climate scientists complaining about how they're being misrepresented. Climate scientists know better than to speak up. If they did speak up, they would lose their funding and their career would be destroyed. So they stay silent. Climate alarmism is not about science. In fact, it has nothing to do with science. I'm doing everything I can to expose this fraud. Please pass these videos around to everyone you know. Visit Toto on the web at realclimatescience.com. He's been pulling back the curtain on junk science and propaganda for a long time.